So this is the fourth video on sending data to pages, this time looking at creating clean URLs. So we've got the same setup as before. We've got the orders here. When we click edit, we see all the items of one order. And now I've created this new second edit button with a new workflow. Let's have a look at it. So I'm just looking at step 2 here. And so last time, you may have remembered that as the workflow we're going to send the unique ID over. Well, this time we're not going to send the unique ID over, but just the name. So we can select anything we want here. I've selected the name. We could, of course, create a new data field too if we wanted to. And we're going to send just the name over in the URL instead of this long unique URL ID. And then we go over to item clone is the page we've called it, and we've had to amend that slightly too. How? Well, if you go here, we're going to do get item from page URL. This is the same. However, before we were expecting an item because we sent the unique ID, but now we're expecting a text. So I sent text, and then now I have to initiate the search for myself. So I do a search for items, and I'm going to look for all items where the name is what's in the URL. So I've typed in item text. So it's searching for items where the name is gotten from the URL. And it takes the first item because a group can only show one item. And I'm doing the same thing for the order. So again, over here in the data source, I do search for orders, first item. So I'm searching for orders with a get order from page URL. Again, if I want to set up this myself, then I just go URL, get data from page URL, and I type in order, and I want to leave it type text as it is. And that's it. Let's see this in action. If I go to linking tables, before we do that, you may have noticed it's searching for orders with that name or items for that name. What if two items have the same name? Then it would not always find the right one. So we have to do something against this. So what we're going to do for this is whenever we create an item, here in the input and create item, it will show sorry name taken. How do we do this? We create a text element that's normally invisible on page loader, as you can see here. And then when search for items where the name equals the input's value but trimmed to remove any spaces, when the first item of that search is not empty, what that means is, let's say you type in bubble, but bubble already exists, then this element will be visible. And then we've also gone to this button called create item, and so when this text sorry name taken is visible, so when that search is not empty, then we will not be able to create a new item. Okay, and so let's check this out. We're going to select our, let's say, living room order. So for armchair smart TV, let's try to create another sofa. I will not be able to create it because the name is taken, but if I created a big armchair, I would be able to create it. I click create item, it's over here now, and then I can click the second one which I've created, and in the URL the item it sends is big armchair and the order is living room order. And so this looks cleaner, of course, than what we had earlier. Okay, so for more short tips on Bubble, just join our community on TipLister.com, where the tips are actually also linked to longer step-by-step lists, so you can solve any problems you have with Bubble quickly. Cheers.